네, 안녕하세요. 지금부터 마지막 3세션 시작하겠습니다. 앞선 2세션에서는 기후 위기에 대응하기 위한 전략들을 얘기를 했다면 이제 3세션에서는 그중 어쩌면 가장 중요한 핵심적인 녹색 성장, 녹색 기술에 대한 얘기를 하도록 하겠습니다. 첫 번째 발제자는 캄보디아 재무부 미옷 속센산 차관님이십니다. 미옷 차관님은 캄보디아의 녹색 성장 이니셔티브와 한국과의 협력 기회에 대해서 발제를 해주시겠습니다. 큰 박수로 환영해 주십시오.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be back in Seoul, Korea today. Well, I arrived yesterday, but it's great to be back here in the beautiful city of Seoul. I would like to start with the extent of my deep gratitude to Cmk and KUAC for inviting me here. It's a great pleasure and honor for me to deliver some informative slide for Cambodia, but also for ASEAN cooperation and Korean especially. I will start by just briefly introducing myself. I think I need to control the time as well because I think we have only 10 minutes for each presentation. So it's better to control the time and not, sorry. Okay, let's start by introducing myself. I'm a senior official in the Ministry of Economy and Finance. I think might be the one who's in charge of the green growth projects development, public investment in Ministry of Economy and Finance, and maybe in Cambodia. I'm the only one who's in charge of this project, and it's for me it's a great pleasure to be charged of this important project. I have 10 contents, but please rest assured that will be very brief on each contents. And I would start by giving some brief information about overall greens and climate in Cambodia. Then we'll develop some opportunity for everybody to see what will be Cambodia to deliver and combat climate change. I would start by the first one. As you can see, the overview of Cambodian green growth. We have a national vision for the comprehensive policy frameworks to address climate change, and of course to promote green growth and ensure a sustainable energy futures. This is the part of the promise of the government to take action for the next 5 years. We also are part of the Paris Climate Agreement, which Cambodian promised to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and improving climate resilience. We are also part of the Global Green Growth Institute that Cambodian has developed a green growth roadmap to focus on sustainable industrial development, energy and efficiency, and promoting green jobs. This is the key green growth initiative in Cambodia. We have capitalizing on its high solar potential and hydropower resources to increase the share of the renewable energy in the national grid. Recent projects include large-scale solar farm in Kampong Speu and Svay Rieng, which you can see also from the Korean investment take part last few years in Cambodia. Related to agriculture, we have also promoting a sustainable agriculture practice to boost food and security. The agriculture development policy incorporates green growth principle by promoting the use of organic fertilizers and reducing pesticides usage. Related to waste management and circular economy, Cambodian remain a major challenge for the waste management. but we take a few steps to promote recycling and waste strengthening and compositing. The government is exploring waste to energy projects and improve landfill management. This is some part of the government stakeholder engagement. The first one is the PPP, which I also in charge of the division. And we are leveraging the PPP to attract investment in green infrastructure. I will develop more in the next slide. We also take part with the international partnership, the Global Green Growth Institute and the UNDP in terms of collaborating with various international organizations to, for access to the technical expertise and financing. This is some policy frameworks that I introduced earlier. We have the national strategy, and we have also the specific strategy for the green growth, but also for the public investment related to the efficiency and transparency of the public investment, which enhance climate resilience. This is some investment that I take charge of the investment, which cover around, when you take the two projects, it's around 400 or 500 million US dollar, but it's in the development plan. But when you take as a whole, as an infrastructure investment related to climate change, which also under my projects, it will around 2 billion US dollars under the other project, which costs 1.7 billion, is under constructing as well. It's we call the canal. Otherwise, you have the PIP, the public investment project that is the national investment for the country, which assemble all the priorities public investment. And with this, I just take only four for the investment opportunity in renewable energy sectors: solar power, hydropower, wind power, and biomass. I would also start by highlighting some few numbers that Cambodia is a very vulnerable country in terms of climate change. If we do not respond correctly to the climate change, we will lose around 2.5% to our GDP in 2030, but we will lose also 10% of our GDP in 2050. But when we get it on the right path to combat the climate change and investment in terms of green growth, we might gain 7.5% to our GDP each year. So this is very important and a dilemma for Cambodia. This is the part of the example that last year that we signed with Singapore in terms of in terms of renewable energy. We signed a contract of around 1,000 megawatts to Singapore. A green investment opportunity in Cambodia also highlighted by the national REDD, reduction emission and deforestation and degradation. Cambodian before 30 years before, our geography comprised of around between 60 and 70% of forests. But with the development, we lost around, let's say, 20 and 30% of the forest. Now we are covered around 45% of our superficie. So we need to address to the climate change, but also we need to how we're gonna invest by not affecting the forestation. In terms of opportunity for green growth, we have three: renewable energy expansion, green finance and investment, and climate smart agriculture. This is the areas that we tackle in the few years, but also in 2030. In terms of regional and international cooperation, we have, of course, because we are member of ASEAN country, we took part of some initiative in the region, we take the policy and we get back to our country and transform this policy into action. So we're trying to at least address some challenges, but also to take some opportunity and experience within the region. In terms of opportunity for FDI, we also encourage FDI in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and green infrastructure. There's an incentive on that area. We have a strategic location in young workforce attract green tech and manufacturing investment. In terms of Korean collaboration, we have a joint effort renewable energy, digital green solution, and smart infrastructures. Specifically for the Korean and Cambodian cooperation, recently we have a Korean Energy Agency has built a solar power system for a tiny floating village in Cambodia. Some Korean firm plans to express intention to invest in Cambodian and clean energy sectors using about 100 tons of waste to create 25 megawatt of electricity. Also, Cambodia and Korea launched a carbon reduction project. And recently, we have a joint statement with the visit of my Prime Minister in Korea. There's some specific issues that Cambodian and Korean agreed together upon the climate change and climate combat. There's other opportunity for collaboration between ASEAN, Korea, and Cambodia. I take four, the strengthening bilateral relation, but also we have green technology transfer, which facilitate the transfer of green technology and sustainable practice from Korean to Cambodian, including smart grids, energy efficient system, and waste management solution. We have also tackled on the Sustainable Development Goals. Cambodian collaborate on achieving SDG, particularly in climate action and sustainable urban development to accelerate Cambodia's progress in these critical areas. Also, capacity building and a training program. We develop technical training and capacity building initiative in climate resilient agriculture and urban planning, fostering collaboration between Cambodian Institute and Korean organizations. This is the strategic solution for 2030. I would not go deeply on that, but only one that as I mentioned, on building resilient infrastructures, which I'm personally take responsible on this area. It's called the Green SEZ, the Green Development, the Green Special Economic Zones, which I collaborate with the British government to do this. And as I mentioned, I'm maybe the one who trigger this project and responsible for the public investment in terms of green growth. There's other sectors and the strategy sectors, such as sustainable urbanization. We plan in 2030 for the Green City Initiative. And the regional, in terms of regional cooperation, we collaborate project with ASEAN members on the knowledge sharing, disaster response, and joint climate action. And last slide, it's just the initiative for Cambodian to call for the action in terms of climate change, promoting policy implementation, mobilizing private sector engagement, and building climate awareness. That's all that my presentation. Thank you.
네, 속센산 차관님 대단히 감사합니다. 다음은 베트남으로 가보겠습니다. 루득 카이 박사님을 소개 올리겠습니다. 현재 베트남 중앙경제관리연구소 사회연구부 부국장으로 재직 중이시고 농업경제와 농촌개발 정책 분야 전문가십니다. 환영 부탁드립니다.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I am Luu Duc Kai from Vietnam. Thank you very much. Thank you, Cmk and KUAC to provide me opportunity to be here. And I will share with you some information about the green growth in Vietnam and what is the challenges and opportunity between Vietnam and Korea, how to make overcome the challenges and how to make good use of opportunity in the near future. As you know, maybe the time of constraint, so I will sorry, it's not work. Okay. So as time is limited, so I will focus on some issue on my presentation into three points. First of all, I would like to talk about the current situation of the cooperation between Vietnam and Korea in terms of green growth. And next is the challenges and opportunity before we come to the some recommendation. And for the current situation between Vietnam, you may know the relationship between Vietnam and Korea growing fast, more and more deeply in many aspects. Here you can see in the screen some stone spine in this relation. After 30 years of development since 1992, Vietnam and Korea relation have reached the comprehensive strategic partnership, the highest relation. And two countries have signed a number of bilateral and multilateral trade agreements. Here we have two important. One is ASEAN-Korea FTA. It's a multilateral FTA. And another is a Vietnam-Korea FTA. Is a bilateral FTA. It's a very important one for the cooperation between Vietnam and Korea. There are mechanisms that have Vietnam and Korea increasingly develop steadily and cooperate sustainably. And in terms of trade, as you can see in the graph, Korea is an important partner of Vietnam. The trade between Korea and Vietnam increased very rapidly, come from $5 million in 1992, and it up to more than 87 billion in 2022. So you can see after Vietnam and Korea FTA, we have very effective trade revenue between Vietnam and Korea. And now Korea becomes the biggest trade partner of Vietnam. The two countries have set a target, the goal of bilateral trade turnover to $150 billion by the year 2030. Joy slowly solving the problem, quickly solving problem of trade imbalances between two countries, creating conditions for export goods. And here you can see the structure of export between Vietnam and Korea. The export structure of Vietnam and Korea is clearly complementary and have a little competition. Vietnam mainly export products from Korean FDI enterprises produce such as phone and computer, electronic product and component, machinery and spare as part of the Vietnamese, as well as the Vietnamese product that we have advantage like agricultural and aquaculture product, processed food, textile, footwear, and wooden furniture. In other way, Korea is the biggest supplier of component, accessory, of machinery, equipment, and raw materials that are input material for the manufacturing and industry for exporting. And here is the, you can see in the graph that Korea is the largest investment partner in Vietnam. with the total accumulated project capital nearly more than 87 billion US dollar, accounting for around nearly 20% of the total investment capital in Vietnam, with more than 10,060 projects still active. Investment area of Korea enterprise is not only focused on the field of industry, product processing, manufacturing, but also expand to the new fields such as construction, real estate, and distribution and retail. Korean FDI enterprise in Vietnam contribute more than 30% of the Vietnamese total export turnover. In particular, some large Korean corporations like Hyundai, Samsung, LG, POSCO, SK play important role in the development of Vietnamese locality, gradually helping Vietnam participating deeper and broader in the global value chain. And here is you can see Vietnam is promoting the industrialization, restructuring the economy, innovating the growth model to a digital economy, green economy, and circular economy, while continuing to reform and improve its investment environment, strengthening regional and international cooperation. Vietnam have issued the National Green Growth Strategy 2020 to 2030, Vision to 2050. The overall goal of the strategy is green growth, contributing to promoting economic restructuring associated with the growth model innovation to achieve economic prosperity, environmental sustainability, and social justice toward a green carbon neutral economy, and contributing to the limiting global temperature rise. So Vietnam is on the way to accelerating the implementation of this strategy. And in this strategy, we set the 10 priority sectors and also have the 8 themes for successful of the national strategy. For the challenges, for the opportunity, you can see the Vietnam have committed to reduce net emission to zero by the year 2050, which might have implied investors come to Vietnam are interested in the field of renewable energy and green transition. To enhance trust and expand between Vietnam and Korea cooperation in the new field, expand cooperation in the field of semiconductor industry, supporting industry digital transformation, green transformation, circular economy, and climate change response. And for the challenges, we have also faced with a number of challenges. First is the internal shock. It depends on the geopolitical instability, energy crisis, financial tension, public debt. The quality human resources have not kept up with the pace of science and technology development in green growth, and the imbalance. The green growth requires large initial investment capital. And the challenges, we need to adapt with the new attracting investment. It means we need to have the new way to attracting investment, not by the traditional way, but need to move to give more innovation in the attracting investment. And for the recommendation, in terms of orientation for investment cooperation, first is strengthening the transparent, stable business environment. The second is promote investment into sector high-tech, innovation such as AI, smart supply chain, renewable energy, and green technology. Third is green and sustainable economic development, promote the investment projects in green industry, clean energy, and sustainable urban development to develop present with a specific policy mechanism and improve the global connection, develop digital, financial, and green finance. And here is I come with some proposed solution. We have 8 proposed solution, but I will be mostly highlight is the continue to implementing solution to stable macroeconomy and implement strategic in terms of institution, infrastructure, and human resource, and to comply law, policy, administrative procedure reform, simplify procedure to continue to improve the business investment environment, and strengthening dialogue between investors to overcome difficulties. So thank you very much for the listening.
네, 카이 박사님 감사합니다. 이어서 바로 다음 발제자분 모시겠습니다. 중앙대학교 경제학부 김정인 교수님이시고요. 녹색 성장과 클라이밋 액션에 대해서 말씀해 주시겠습니다.
First of all, thank you very much. It is my great honor to be here to make a presentation, and also very good, probably the excellent circumstance I can see outside, and also walking on the street, peoples, and also if we go out, I can see the very beautiful cathedral. So this is a very good place. Again, thank you very much for inviting me here on behalf of the CMK Foundation and Korea University. My presentation is four components. One, I will introduce current situation in abroad. Second, domestic situation for climate change response, such as carbon neutral and green growth. And third one is I picked some countries such as Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, what they are doing. Probably you will hear, but probably I will go a little in-depth situation I will introduce. And lastly, which is the most important thing, is what is and what will be cooperation in the future between Asian country and CMK and Korea University as a cooperation. Because of the time limitation, I will go a little faster. As you might know, there are many approaches for the green growth. Maybe the best examples might be the P4G, which is a partnership for green growth and global goals until 2030. They try to have win-win approach, economic and environment at the same time. They can achieve very good situation as a win-win strategy. Actually, which works very well. As you might know, they already have some action from the EU and the United States. Maybe Trump government will changing a little bit, but I think the mainstream might be go. But if you trend in the energy intensity, carbon intensity in the major countries are really decreasing. And also Japan is doing green transportation and digital transportation. But I wanted to add more. Many people are mentioning green transportation and digital transportation. What about the energy transportation? What about the transportation transformation? We are really changing from traditional gasoline-based vehicle to hydrogen or electric vehicle. financing is also changing a lot. We call it carbon financing or green financing. The financing field is also changing. So there is a lot of paradigm shift. So we have to thinking about that. This is already many countries are doing that, so I will skip this one. However, even if there are some targeting they announced for the NDC, it is not enough. According to the IEA or OECD, even if the NDC is achieved, we are really far, far behind and shortening around the 19 to 22 gigawatts. So that's why we have to push harder and harder than before. So that's why nowadays many countries and even cities, even private sectors try to great effort to achieve carbon reduction. So this is one example, carbon neutral city alliance. As of November 2023, 23 cities already joined alliance, such as Seattle, San Francisco, Helsinki. There are many. Why not Seoul? Why not Hanoi? Why not cities among Asians? That is one of my questions. Energy transition, this is already very clear and very transparent. There is a lot of investment is going on. There is a lot of venture capital, and many government and many companies already invested in this area. However, unfortunately, South Korea's situation, as many people said before in this seminar, Korea is behind, and we need more work. So, like World Economic Forum, they listed some transaction index. Our Korean ranking is quite low. On the other hand, EU already announced a very powerful policy, which is a renewable energy power policy. So when they wanted to have a European solar rooftop initiative, and they want to have a more energy saving, energy efficiency. So that's why they are increasing 45% of the renewable energy until 2040. Sorry. Inflation Reduction Act. Many people know the Inflation Reduction Act, but there is a bipartisan infrastructure law which is already passed, which is more focusing on energy in the United States. So they wanted to change energy by having law. What about the Korea? We are also doing something, but I think it is not enough. And new government is a little change. They wanted to increase nuclear power and decrease the goal of percentage from 30% to 22.5%. They decrease. On the other hand, they wanted to have still focusing renewable energy, carbon-free new power source, and green buildings, and petrochemical or steel making industry and cement. They wanted to change from old and traditional to eco-friendly infrastructures. But there is many things, many efforts need to be done in the future. This one, they wanted to invest more, which is already discussed by Chair. Now, by having chance to look at the Asian countries, for example, if this is Thailand, they want to have a very ambitious goal. So they have an energy efficiency plan. So they wanted to have a pace out for coal-fired power plant by 2050. they want to have a national energy basic plan, such as Thailand Power Development Plan, Renewable and Alternative Energy Development Plan, Energy Efficiency Plan. Also, they wanted to have regional LNG hub by having more LNG gases. Vietnam, they also wanted to have energy conservation and efficiency improvement. They wanted to change, and they wanted to change energy structure, and also enhancement of agricultural production efficiency and competitiveness, especially the waste management, which is a very common. The waste treatment is a pain in the neck. So, Philippines, which is interesting, 100% ownership of the renewable energy sector from foreign investors. They wanted to have more foreign direct investment here in Philippines. So already USTDA invested $500 million. US International Development Finance Corporation also invested in here. So which is a kind of incentives. Also, they have a Luzon Economic Corridor kind of activities. Cambodia, they wanted to just here, quite ambitious and very good. So they have some corporate actions. By having only 4 countries, I can see there is energy issues, there is a various strategy for expanding renewable energy especially, and also international cooperation by having investment, and also change. For example, light industry, clothing industries is wanted to change a lot at first. And climate adaptation action, which is another big issue. Because because of the climate disaster, people are dying, and also their economic loss is keep increasing. So we have to do something about that. So then, finally, I wanted to suggest, this is my personal suggestions, what can you do, especially CMK Foundation and Asian country and Korea University, which is a very, very good university and very well known and very good sources of knowledge and people. So I think many people try to have a technology such as entrepreneurship or startup. What about the policy? I think this kind of a forum is very important part for the platform. I must say platform is first and platform is the last one. Why? Platform, by having a platform, we can have a network. We can sharing the information, people, hearts. So this is a good chance for let's have a policy sharing. Of course, there is a knowledge sharing platform in our government, but let's try to have a very specific and innovative policy sharing platform between Korea University or professional person like me and Asian member countries and CMK. Second one is a very issue-based and solution-based platform is necessary. We have lots of platform seminar and international podium or whatever you can say. They just talk and talk. Solution, nature-based solution, like solution-based approach. Even if it's a one, let's do it. So let's solve one by one, little by little, such as waste to energy, city flood prevention, how we can prevent city flood prevention. Is it really work for the AI, or there is another things? Plastic bag in developing country is another very important one because very cheap, but there is a loss of plastic bag. So whenever there is a flood, it is the really harmful material for the sewage. It blocked it. So simple things can be done. And also as somebody already mentioned, IoT-based monitoring system. We have a very good AIT. We can also make a transfer for free as an intelligent right. That is one. And also, third one, APOCO. My second major is forestry research economics. I also advising the forestry agency. Very important. We have a lot of experience. But on the other hand, Red Plus kind of things is getting important. There is already something going out a lot, but we have to be systemized. So we have to help each other. And also, as a small project, you know, CMK is a very famous for the automobile, electric car. So they have a very good one. So let's try to change autobike, bicycle, a very small electric vehicles approach, and knowledge sharing, and even technology transfer. In that way, we can improve air quality and also economic development tools. We can have it. And also another one, somebody mentioned biofuel, which is the major trend in the future. Why not biofuel alliance among Asian countries? Because, you know, we have to change it. We have to mix it between biofuel and gasoline, and biofuel and diesel, and even aviation. Sustainable aviation fuel is the law in Europe, in Korea, in Japan, in the United States too. 10%, 5%, 1%. So in ASEAN country has a lot of sources about this one. So we need to find out this kind of biofuel alliance approach and knowledge sharing kind of things. Okay? I have to stop here. Thank you very much.
네, 김정인 교수님 감사합니다. 특히 여러 구체적인 제안들을 많이 해주셔서 더더욱 감사드립니다. 바로 이어서 다음 발제자 소개해드리겠습니다. 연세대 국제학대학원 디지털 통상 연구센터의 고영경 교수님이십니다. 고영경 교수님께서는 녹색 기술과 그 협력 방안에 대해서 말씀해 주시겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Thank you for introduction. It is a great honor for me to give a presentation in front of very distinguished speakers and guests. Yeah, already this is the last session, right? Yeah, so the shortest presentation is the best presentation, I believe. So, and then already the previous speakers pointed out very good aspects and approach, and then especially the Professor Kim, the list out our policy approach and recommendations. So I would like to, I don't want to duplicate all those aspects, so I just point out a few aspects. Okay. All right. The climate change risk, it cannot be overstated any longer. But I want to make sure that some statistics figures. Approximately 79 weather-related disasters recorded in last year. Then the flooding accounted for around 2,000 threats, and then especially 26 disasters in Southeast Asia. So it has a really threatening our life in Southeast Asia. But there is a crisis, but all the time in the other side we can find out some more bright aspect. It's like a business opportunity. Despite of covering less than 1% of the world's total area, Southeast Asia, ASEAN has the capability to provide approximately 30% of the global carbon offset supply by 2030. Why? Because we have to see that nature-based solution potential in ASEAN. because 8 out of 10 countries have a sufficient renewable energy technical potential, and then 4 out of 10 countries, except for the oil or plan to export renewable electricity, and then 50% of world forest land come out from Southeast Asia. So it has nature-based solution in ASEAN. That's why there are so much business opportunity here. But can you differentiate green technology and clean technology and climate technology? Can you differentiate? It's a bit overlapped, but mostly the climate technology are focusing on reduction of carbon dioxide, like that. So, but there is no clear line. It's a bit a blur, but most of technology are related to those sectors. And then also related to digital or AI technology too. But in the other side, we can point out, I can point out some other the growth driver, green sector. Green sector may be driving the Southeast Asian countries to the further the sustainable growth in the future. That's why in the next 10 years, major Southeast Asian countries will outpace the growth of China in next 10 years. But what is the main driver force? Yeah, one of that is the green sector and digital transformation. Okay, this is the climate technology landscape in ASEAN. Okay, there are so many the technology sector under the climate technology, but most of the companies from food technology in ASEAN. And then many of those startups have come from Singapore, and some from Indonesia, just a few from other countries of ASEAN member states. So that's why we have to expand our view, and then we have to focus on some other countries' development to reducing the gap between among countries. Okay, I don't want to explain those things. Okay, this is the cases in Korea, industry and research institutions collaboration. But it is very successful in Korea, but what about in ASEAN? I think that this kind of collaboration model must be exported over the shared knowledge sharing with the ASEAN countries. Okay? So this is the global trend in climate technology investment. Nowadays, we say the winter has come. It means the funding into funding in the startups is reduced so much. So major of funding just goes to the big tech companies like the NVIDIA or other or AI fascination. So, but especially the funding into climate technology has been increasing so much. But what about in Southeast Asia? It's not much increased. So the funding into climate technology in ASEAN reduced so much. So we need to change those kind of trend. So this is my conclusion. Yeah. We have to set up some kind of the strategy for the Korean and ASEAN climate technology cooperation. These sectors basically very intensive, technology intensive and capital intensive sector. Everybody knows that those kind of green sector create more jobs and better salaries. So we know that this sector support will contribute to lots of development of those countries. But how to that? So all other speakers mentioned what to do in terms of policy cooperation or technology cooperation. But I would like to mention some kind of the funding approach. I think it's a funding approach and then research institutions cooperation. Because some of the countries, they have a very good plan, they have a support policy, but they don't have an appropriate technology, they don't have an appropriate funding system. So I think the CMK is left to society. It's a very good idea, and then we have to transfer those kind of system to other countries, and then we needed to plan. We have to find out some platform between all the research institutions co-work together between Korea and other countries, and then we can set up some other funding to invest in the climate technology startups together. So which will be the more contribute, and we can raise up the truly game changer within a few years. I should stop here. Yeah, thank you very much.
네, 고영경 교수님 감사합니다. 특히 열정적인 발표 감사합니다. 마지막으로 김건민 과장님을 모시겠습니다. 김건민 과장님은 기획재정부 재정정책국 재정제도과 과장을 맡고 계시고요. 정부의 예산 제도를 활용해서 온실가스 감축을 이룰 수 있다고 하는데요. 큰 박수로 환영하겠습니다.
So I'm the last speaker. So before we wrap it up, I want to raise some issues. So when we try to achieve the green goals, who is the biggest player? Public foundations such as the CMK Foundation, it's wonderful, but we cannot say it's the biggest one. Sometimes the multinational companies, it's sizable and very big, but in historic context of Asia, the government means a lot. We all agree that. So we know that the government is big and meaningful. Then how to move government? What is the key to move government? We already knew it. The budget system is the key to move government. So when we achieve the green goals, when we link between the green goals and the budget system, we can make something. So this is the basic idea behind my presentation. So here, I will introduce the recent moves, Korean moves that we call it greenhouse gas reduction cognitive budgeting system. And I will skip it. Of course, there is a legal framework behind it. I will skip it. Yeah, many authorities and ministries are in cooperation for this system. I will skip it again. Okay, so the first step is selection. The first step is to select and identify what kind of projects are good for green goals. For example, in Korea, every year, 9,500 budget projects are proposed every year, continuously proposed through the local governments and the ministries, line ministries. And among these all projects, we have to select what is good for green goals. So first categorization is like this. We first categorize 10 types of green project. For example, some building project can have some meaning for green goals, and some waste reduction project, hydrogen project. This is first categorization. If one ministry want to insist that their own budget project is matched with the green goals, they have to prove themselves. There will be discussion and many conflicts when we prove attack and defense in the process. So this is the second categorization. Once we pass the first categorization, we will analyze into 3 ones. So those kind of 10 projects categorized again. Once quantitative one and qualitative one R&D. What is quantitative project? that is usually directly reduce the carbon gases. Second, qualitative budget project, that is indirectly reduce the carbon gases, such as a forum budget like this. If government has forum budget for carbon emission decrease, then that is indirectly affected to reduce the carbon gases. And also, many green technology R&D projects also reduces the gases. We categorize once again, then calculation process goes up. So the government agencies and the institutes try to calculate with the promised formula, then we recognize and tagging, and all the green budget project has their own quantity of their green gas control. So this is my conclusion, actually. So in short, to move government, I told you that the budget is very important. Then, how to move the budget? First, what I explained so far is that we calculate and open all the information about each budget project, which makes the better choice for carbon emission control. Then the decision makers may affect under this information. So this kind of open information encourages budget decision makers to do more better budget decision. Under democracy, this is the best way. Actually, this is the only way to move government. And once there is the healthy civil society, it can work very well. And one more thing. This is a very beginning project, even in Korea. But we have now we believe that we have a very firm system for this. And this all information is very open for all the Asian friends countries, and we are ready to share our know-hows and our data together. Thank you very much.
네, 김광민 과장님 감사합니다. 이제 5분의 발표를 다 들었고요. 5분 앞으로 모시고 이제 토론을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 좌석이 준비되는 동안 잠시 쉬는 시간 갖도록 하겠습니다. 금방 돌아오겠습니다. 네, 지금부터 우리 3세션 발제자 5분을 모시고 토론 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 앞선 세션과 마찬가지로 제가 발제자분들께 질문 한 가지씩 드리고 그 다음에 시간이 남을 것 같아요. 그래서 아까 사전 질문을 받은 거, 그 다음에 청중분 중에서도 질문을 받아서 또 얘기 나누도록 하겠습니다. Okay, Secretary of State, Meas, I have a question about the key green growth initiatives in Cambodia, including renewable energy expansion and waste management. These initiatives require advanced technologies. And what is the government's plan to develop the necessary technologies?
You're totally right, and thanks for the question. And Cambodia government is facing big challenges in the two areas. When you allow me to just recall a little bit on, I think 5-6 years ago, we faced challenges in terms of water management, wastewater management, because we have a lot of development just before the COVID, and we have issue with the public opinions that because we don't have enough technology to treat the waters, and so then the water become not clean, and you just get the water into the river and to the sea. We got some backfire from the public opinion. Actually, we still lack of a technology in terms of water treatment, and also for the waste management, which I go into the point 2. But the water waste management, we use a local technology, which we need a lot of land areas to just make the water clean by putting some chemical and using the air. It's a very local and not advanced technology. That's why in my slide we need Cambodia needs to have a transfer technology such as Korea or from the regional regions, neighboring country, for example. For the waste management, we don't have we have a landfill, regional landfill, but we don't have technology to transform waste into energy. And luckily, I'm working on this project. I'm just launching last 6 months. I'm now trying to get private investors to come in to invest into the landfill and transform this landfill into energy, but also to what we call to get clean. And because the actual landfill, it's filled of waste, but there's no, it's filled and you can't do it anymore. No treatment, no transformation. So we face a lot of challenge on this issue. But we need, as in conclusion, we need technology from advanced country like Korean, which I work Fuse company before. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And Dr. Kai, Vietnam's Green Growth National Action Plan is very impressive. And could you please tell me which of the 10 prioritized sector themes is performing the best and why?
Thank you very much for the question. As I mentioned in my presentation that in Vietnam we have the National Green Growth Strategy period 2020 to 2030 and Vision to 2050. And this strategy is now in the progress of implementation. And we also have the National Green Growth National Action Plan. And in the National Green Growth Action Plan, as I mentioned in my presentation, that we have the 10 priority sector, and of which is we have the list of the 10 sector, and among which energy is one of the important sector. The reason why energy is important sector because it's not only of the energy is the sector that is produce the last proportion of the greenhouse gas, and but also it's the thing is energy is becomes the input for other industry. That's why changing energy from normal energy to the green energy when we have more not only positive effective to energy sector as well, but also have the spillover effective to the economy. That's why we put a lot of attention for the green energy sector. And in addition that, in Vietnam, we also have the good condition for reduce for the produce green energy like solar energy or wind energy. Okay.
Thank you very much. 다음으로 김정인 교수님께도 질문 하나 드리겠습니다. 그 그린 그로스, 클라이밋 액션을 위해서 한아세안이 같이 할 수 있는 여러 가지 과제들을 제시해 주셨는데요. 그 중에서도 플랫폼을 여러 번 언급도 하시고 또 중요한 이유도 설명을 해주셨습니다. 따라서 아까 그 세션 2 중간에 우리 사전 질문이라고 들어왔던 질문을 여쭤보기에 제일 적합한 분이 아니신가 싶은데요. 기억하신다면은 인권, human rights, 그다음에 환경, environment, 그다음에 경제 성장, growth, 요 세 개를 동시에 달성하기가 참 어려운데 그거를 가능하게 하기 위한 뭐 플랫폼이라든가 프레임워크 이런 것들이 있을까에 대한 질문에 좀 답변을 해주시면 감사하겠습니다.
네, 사실 이 세 가지를 actually three components altogether will be successful in the future or in the near future is very tough. However, the role of platform is bridging, connecting, networking by having experiencing, by having data, by having technology, or as I said before, by innovative policies, or even the other many things we can thinking about, then that kind of component might have a big spillover effect, I think. In that way, we can probably achieve triple win, probably not in a short term, but in a long term, probably it might be successful. Already, the OECD, especially European Union, showed us the data. Best example in the chemical industry has showing decoupling. The sales volume is increasing, but the trend of greenhouse gas emission is decreasing from 1990 to up to date, which is really evidence for the win-win strategy. In regarding platform, we also need to change mindset, people's mindset. So I'm really arguing digital transformation, green transformation, okay, that's good, perfect. What about the people? If the people's mind is not changing, maybe it's useless. So that's why less education is important. So platform is also one of a good instrument for the changing people's mindset as a bridge law, as a teaching. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다. 다음으로 고영경 교수님께는 한아세안 기후 테크 협력의 필요성 강조하셨는데 특히 그 한아세안 서로 간의 투자, 기술 개발 이런 것들을 촉진하려면 뭐 어떤 자극이나 인센티브가 있으면 좋을지 설명 좀 부탁드립니다.
Actually, is a policy cannot change everything, cannot solve the problem itself. Okay, technology only cannot. Funding cannot. So all those things together can change the problem. Then we expect some kind of a game changer to solve the climate change. So for the further cooperation, we need to think about some kind of a business approach. Yeah. So how we sustain just goodwill cannot solve the problem. So to make it this kind of a cooperation sustainable, how to do? We need a bigger market, scalability. And then we have to make some profitability. How to do? Is a more technology cooperation, but in the other side, we need to open up the market. So as a startup, just the funding inflow cannot make them grow sustainable. So that's why, first of all, we need to open up the market. That's must be sponsored by the policy. And then second one, the institutions, open innovation, industry-related industry and the startups, and then some other big corporations, and those things all together, we have to set up some kind of open innovation will be will contribute for the sustainable growth for those kind of game changers.
네, 감사합니다. 그다음에 김거민 과장님께는 그 우리 한국 정부 온실가스 감축 인지 예산 제도를 소개해 주셨는데 이런 정부 예산권을 잘 활용해 가지고 온실가스 감축에도 큰 도움이 될 수 있다고 생각합니다. 근데 궁금한 건 이제 아세안 국가들 중에도 이와 유사한 제도를 갖고 있는 나라가 있는지, 만약에 없다면은 이런 아세안 국가들에게도 이런 제도를 확산시키는, 뭐 전파시키는데 뭐 어떤 게 필요할지 의견을 부탁드리겠습니다.
In Asia, the Bangladesh, even though it is not ASEAN countries, but Bangladesh has meaningful steps on this budget system. And among the ASEAN countries, Cambodia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, they tracking each budget program with some they put some code of how and categorize into some information, such as usually they use a 6-digit of the code they put it, and they use that information when they recognize and identify each budget project. And so they have the similar ones. However, the details are important and the details are different. So Korean government is ready to share our know-hows and our details. As you may know, the Korean government is always eager to share our know-hows and development technologies. So please feel free to contact Korean government or through CMK Foundation. We are ready to support as if it is originally our own. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다. 자, 뭐 제가 드릴 질문은 이제 다 마쳤고요. 아까 인권, 성장, 그다음에 환경 요 세 가지를 동시에 달성할 수 있는 그런 플랫폼 프레임워크에 대해서 또 다른 의견을 갖고 계신 분 혹시 계신가요? 그러시면은 발언 기회를 드리죠. 고영경 교수님 있으실 것 같은데요?
According to some result, the green sector truly create more jobs rather than traditional manufacturing sector. And then the job created in green sector, they provide the jobs into the people in the community with a higher salary. So, which means those kind of results they provide green growth, make the boost up the economic development in developing countries or undeveloped country, and with a better condition, and also linked to the further growth, further sustainable growth. So that's why we need to focus on the green growth rather than the old-fashioned manufacturing sectors. But this green sector is not truly far away of high-end technology. So that's why all other speakers mentioned the digital transformation and all the others. So those can be together make up the better economic growth plan for other countries.
네, 감사합니다. 녹색 성장 그 자체로 사실 두 가지는 포함하는 거죠. 환경이랑 성장. 감사합니다. 그리고 또 사전 질문 중에 재밌는 질문이 하나 들어와 있는데요. 수소 연료가 혹은 수소 경제, 하이드로젠 이게 한국, 동남아시아 이런 곳에 그린 에너지를 위한 뭔가 대안이 될 수 있는지 그 전망과 과제가 뭔지를 물어봤습니다. 혹시 수소 전문가 계신가요? Anyone who can answer this question about hydrogen-based solution? 네.
Actually, in order to have a hydrogen society or hydrogen fuel, there is a value chain approach. In terms of the production, how we can make a production. I have a green hydrogen, or blue hydrogen, or green hydrogen at first. Second, how we can make inside in domestically. For example, POSCO is still making hydrogen, but that is not enough for the hydrogen for Korean government. In that case, we have to import by shipping. That is another very tough issue. Having that one in domestically, for example, Pyeongtaek or Tongyong, there is a gas storage. But we need another hydrogen storage, which is very vulnerable. So we have to have a very safety approach. So that is the third one. And how we can distribute is also another one. So that's why the Germany is focusing on hydrogen, and many developed countries are focusing on, but there is life cycle and value chain approach. It will be, and also United States is also a good position because of the shale gas, but it needs technology and also different approaches.
네, 감사합니다. 충분한 답변이 되신 것 같습니다. 그 온라인에선 더 이상 뭐 질문이 들어온 게 없다고 하고요. 그 우리 지금 현장에 오랜 시간 앉아 계신 청중분들이 몇 분 계신데요. 청중 중에 질문을 뭐 한두 분 받아보도록 하겠습니다. 특히 우리 아세안 스쿨 학생들 혹시 질문 있으세요? 아니면 하고 싶은 말? 포럼을 더 자주 열어주세요. 그런 거 없나요? 없어요? 자, 그러면 딱 정해진 시간에 맞추게 됐습니다. 그 1세션부터 3세션까지 많은 전문가분들께서 아세안과 좀 한국에서 지금 오셔가지고 특히 또 정부에 계신 분들, 학계에 계신 분들, 그 다음에 국제기구를 대표하신 분들이 모여가지고 긴 시간 동남아시아 지속가능한 발전 현황과 과제, 그 다음에 한아세안 협력을 통해서 어떻게 해결할 것이냐 이런 문제들을 다뤘습니다. 긴 시간 함께 해주신 모든 분들께 감사드리고 또 온라인에 또 계신 분들 또 감사드리고요. 특히나 좋은 발표를 해주신 모든 발제자 여러분들께 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.